All right, 7 o'clock. I call to order the December 13th, 2022 Perry Township Board of Trustees. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, please call the roll.
Trustee Hartshorn,
Yes.
trustee Mears,
Yes.
trustee Music.
Yes. At this time, I make a motion to accept the consent agenda as submitted.
Second.
Trustee Music
Yes.
or trustee Mears,
Yes.
trustee Hartshorn.
Yes.
Trustee Music.
Yes. Fiscal officer report.
So again, I'd like to thank the residents for taking the time to get out and vote back on November the 8th. After trustee Mears and myself attended the recount that took place last Wednesday, December the 7th. We were notified that Perry Township fire levy did pass by 4 votes. It was 1,200 to 1,196 votes. I continued to work on the 2023 budget and have provided the trustees and department heads with the proposed 2023 temporary appropriations. I attended virtually the 2022 UAN end of year update, and I'm preparing to update to the crossover year on the UAN. It allows me to continue to work in 2022, but also to start working and getting stuff built into 2023. I helped with the Shop with a Cop on Saturday. And upcoming events, I have a meeting scheduled, or we had a meeting scheduled this morning with OTARMA to do the annual risk control review. And I will be attending the OTA training later on this month, as well as the end of the year auditor on Thursday. I do have a few resolutions for the trustees. I request the trustees to entertain a motion to approve resolution 2255, the supplemental reallocation of appropriations for November 2022 with a net increase of $14,422.
So moved. Second.
Trustee Music,
Yes.
trustee Hartshorn.
Yes.
Trustee Mears.
Is it November or August?
It's November.
Oh, good call.
Second. Or yes.
I request the trustees to entertain a motion to accept resolution 2256, a resolution accepting the advanced request form for collection year 2023 as provided.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Mears,
Yes.
trustee Hartshorn.
Yes.
Trustee Music.
Yes.
I request the trustees to entertain a motion to accept resolution 2257, a resolution to approve temporary appropriation for fiscal year 2023 as provided.
So moved. Second.
Trustee Music,
Yes.
trustee Hartshorn.
Yes.
Trustee Mears.
Yes.
And I request the trustees to entertain a motion to accept the 2022 Township Highway System mileage certification of 18.202 miles of public roads as provided by Ohio Department of Transportation.
So moved. Second that.
Trustee Music,
Yes.
trustee Hartshorn.
Yes.
Trustee Mears.
Yes.
And that is all I have.
Thank you. Road and cemetery report.
Our cemeteries, we had one cremation at Pleasant Hill, full burial at Eversole. We spent a lot of time the last few weeks going over all the cemetery records, trying to get them all digitized. We're still currently on Pleasant Hill and we are moving on to G, but Karen worked ahead a little bit to that, which a lot of time wrapped up in getting that right and to be able to get digitized. So reminder, our next cleanup is March 1st of 2023. On our roads, we've been working on trimming trees and chipping. We worked on erosion maintenance and water control on Keener. We've been working on our year-end items, our inventory, equipment and such. All our equipment is ready for snow and ice, and we are now effectively able to use our liquids that we were testing out last year of snow and ice. That's it.
Thank you. Please report.
Our November stats, we're posting on our website and Facebook, soon, just trying to wrap some of that stuff up. Nathan Milby, was involved in a fatal accident, over here on Diamond Mill a while back. He's been sentenced, he took a plea agreement, for 6 months, and that agreement, was with the victim's family, so, he was sentenced to, 6 months. Our Melton fatal down here on Old Dayton Road, that case still needs to go to trial. Do we know when, or is it just waiting to be set? Okay. Our fatal that we had not too long ago out here on Westbrook Road, that has been closed out. Detective Sergeant Waymeyer and I are working with Lexipol for a grant for a total station. A total station is 3D mapping that would be used for any crime scene. We have used it before on fatals. We've also used it for the homicide case that we had. It just gives you a more accurate readings, and it also gives members of the jury, the judge, everything else, a 3D image of where we're at and the rooms and the layout. So we're working on a grant for that. Our canine program is off to a good start with donations. Olika has donated $2,000 worth of equipment for the canine and the canine program. The training and certifications for the canine starts January the 6th with an end date of February the 9th. In the month of November, we provided some family dinners for Thanksgiving to some families that had a hard time or would have had a hard time providing a Thanksgiving meal to their family. So we took care of that for them. They were very appreciative of that. I know we're into December and this should wait till January, but we had Shop with a Cop back on December 10th. It was a huge success. I want to thank everybody who came out and helped with that. I know Charity, you came out, Trustee Music came out, Trustee Mears came out along with our CTC kids, our officers. And so I'd like to thank you guys for that. Without your help, it wouldn't be successful. And I also want to thank everybody who has donated. There's a lot of donations that we took in this year. A little over $4,600. Is that?
Yes.
I knew it was like around 4,600 that we collected. So that went to a great cause. With these families, we'll also be giving Christmas dinners when we deliver the gifts. So hopefully they will not need to go out and purchase any additional food for Christmas dinners unless if it's something specifically they want. So.
And on those, do we send out like businesses and stuff? Do we send out like Christmas cards or thank yous or anything?
We follow up with a thank you letter.
Okay, good.
I know in the past I have had certificates made up and presented. Some of those businesses we've taken those to them because they're local. I've had others that we've mailed them to.
Okay.
And then some had picked them up here at the township building.
Because I got that one day business in New Lebanon and his heart, he donated $100 and he said it's for the kids. So he's always doing it for the Easter account and everything else. I just want to make sure we're.
Yeah. We make sure that we're taking care of the people who donate by thank you letters, certificates, challenge coins, whatever it may be that we have. So. I also asked the board to entertain a motion to hire Karen Kaler as a full-time admin / EV custodian with an effective date as of this past Monday because it was the beginning of the new pay period at $18 an hour.
You said Karen Kaler?
It was a typo on.
Karen. Yeah, okay. Making sure I got that right.
Yeah, I was trying to type up kind of last minute my November sheet that I have that keeps track of everything. I'm not sure what happened with it, but it is gone. So I was trying to put this information together here.
Just so I'm clear on what you're asking. What would her roles be above and beyond being as a zoning officer? Is that correct?
No,
No, she would be hired full-time to work for the police department. We would have to go find a new zoning.
That's what I'm getting clarification on.
Yes,
I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
Okay,
but we had that discussion when you were in here, that's something that we make official
yeah, that wasn't
to the
exactly how I took it, so. Okay. That's fine.
so moved. He asked us to entertain a motion.
Well, obviously, this is something you want.
I think it'd be beneficial for the township. Because if I'm upfront and I'm helping with the police, I'm still going to be, until we can get somebody, still have to do zoning. Or that, once we get somebody hired in, then I'll be able to train them.
Okay.
So it's it would be an advantage. So that when 10 years down the road, when I decide to retire, you've already got your zoning person.
There's some issues with that, though. You can't be in both roles at the same time. We can't pay you both positions at the same time.
Oh,
That's the only concern there.
When are you starting this?
He said effective this past Monday.
So we can't. go back.
Right.
So it would have to be starting Monday.
Or we can start at the next.
Well,
meeting.
we have to wait until, I mean, she would have to give notice for the other. I mean, there's a lot of,
So we'll take the motion off the table. Basically, it would have to be after the first of the year. Kevin.
well, I mean, Karen would either have to give her notice and she has to complete her fill of that position.
Right,
And we have to find somebody else, but we just may have a period of time where we don't have anybody doing the zoning position, admin position.
okay, so Karen would have to give notice,
Or however she wants to do that.
however she wants to do that. And then we would accept that. And then we would make the motion for the future hire starting date.
so do I need to make him,
Let's hang tight for a minute. But I know you want to, I'm okay with your decision. But I think it would be better to, well, now that we can all digest it, that we have some work to do here over the next couple of weeks, trying to find a replacement for you.
I
I would-
would check with the new and see there could be a possibility, or with legal counsel
Sure.
and see if maybe of doing part-time on each and splitting the time, but I don't know.
I support your decision. I think given a little time here, being that it's it's intimate because it's intermingling all of our offices.
So
Let's,
we've got time. We can
Discuss
discuss this during the reorganization meeting.
Mhm.
That's an official meeting. We can have the motions there. And that gives us time to do some planning and some planning with legal as well. So, okay, motion is withdrawn.
appreciate you stay with Perry Township.
absolutely, trying to help.
So to be continued.
And that's all I have.
All right, thank you, chief. Zoning report.
Well, as Caleb mentioned, we've been working together on getting the cemetery records and logs updated. Trash bills will be mailed out on December 29th. 3 pending permits right now, and 1 permit was issued for a barn since the last trustee meeting. And that's all I have.
Forward with the GIS mapping. That sort of.
We are, but we have not got completely going on it.
All right.
Yes.
That's the whole, you're trying to get every cemetery, like A to Z. Get
Yeah,
every.
we go through all the cemetery, every record we have to make sure our books are, everything information we got, our books are correct. But every time we buried somebody, I have taken GPS coordinates off of that.
Right,
So once we upload that with Patrick,
right,
and then he has some software he wants to work with for purchase anything with that.
right. Okay.
So it's been a,
I knew it was in progress. Just wasn't sure how far down the path we were.
yeah, he's still there.
All right, thank you. Trustee reports. So for myself, continue to administer and update the township social media. Performed routine maintenance on the township PCs and systems. Performed general IT management, maintenance and upkeep of the systems. Some patching that hung on a couple of the systems, unfortunately. Troubleshot issues with email. If anyone in the township has emails from the chief or anyone in the police department that goes to spam, please let me know. We've been working this with Ionos and Oasis. They've got it fixed for now, but it seems to be random that
I had started going too.
you're doing that on purpose.
No, I'm not.
I'm
I think
saying,
Karen had a couple of mine went to her spam.
right, so as that happens, reach out to Patrick and let him know. They've tried to deal with it at a domain level, but there's something. I don't know if they've been registered on a list somewhere or Ionos is just picking it up improperly. But he's been working that as we identify him. So if you ever see an email that goes to spam, please let Oasis know. I also went through and reviewed the fire department reports. Noticed we hadn't uploaded those in a while, so we got those squared away. Continue to perform weekly inspections of the township, cemeteries and nuisance properties. I know the one property that's in Piermont used to have the sign, the one that's boarded up, had the sign keeps getting torn off.
Mhm.
So I know all we can do is pick it back up, but right now it's torn off.
Okay.
I know those properties are, they're continuing to kind of go downhill. I've continued planning on the contract for the township K-9 program, talking with the prosecutor's office as well as with chief to kind of figure out how we're gonna pull that language together. So more to come on that. And that's all I have. Trustee Mears.
Okay, I was down here one day and there was a insurance inspector here, so I had a little short conversation with him regarding one of the properties here in the township. Myself and Miss Girl attended the recount on the fire levy. It passed and has been certified. Talked to a resident about her trash, passed the information along to Miss Kaler. Had a meeting with Mr. Hoops and Mr. Steck. I attended shop with the cop and have been in contact with Brookville and New Lebanon city and village managers regarding the passing of the fire levy. So from 2020 to 2022, our contract, we were paying an additional 3% each year. With our fire levy passing as a township, we are no longer responsible for the 3%, which equals out to $25,429.10. We have this broke down if anybody wants it. But anyway, and we received a letter from both of them that they're not holding us responsible. So that's money that we don't have to worry about.
Right. So we
So,
were gonna pay that with ARPA
Yes.
funds.
Portion of it, yes.
Portion of it, yeah.
so that's a good, so that money all comes back. Then today, I had a meeting with our Tom, with all of us, and that's it.
Okay. Has there been any?
Lexipol,
Yes, ma'am.
we talked about that today with her, and
Okay.
I'm working on that. I want to check into a couple things on that.
Trustee Music.
So I attended the Montgomery County Emergency Management meeting. There was some information there that they are going to have a grant available over the next few months. More language will come out on that. that the township could potentially apply for risk management, emergency risk management mitigation. So I reached out to Chief, reached out to Caleb, kind of told him, just think about a list of some things that we may be able to use. One was that just came to my mind when they were talking about it was the generators. I know we had discussions on getting generators or getting the township equipped for them in case, because that is probably, our number one emergency risk is losing power out here. Without that, we can't do our jobs. Either one of them, So, I'm still waiting back on, they haven't finalized the paperwork on those grants. But we want to be in the language of those grants. So I'm working with.
Sounds like somebody's going to the grants class for the OTA this year. It's well worthwhile. I wasn't looking at you.
Yeah, you were.
Trust me, I went and I went to every single one of them, and there's so many out there, but there's so many, the fine print,
It's hard to.
so uninclusive that
That
once you get to that point, you're all excited about grants, and then you're like, well, we can't do this, we can't do this, we can't, well.
So this is kind of all encompassing in the county
Right.
through them. If our request is not in it, we won't be considered.
Right.
The whole grant won't be considered,
Right.
or the grant will be considered, but we just will miss out. We won't get any chance. So our language has to be in that grant of our request. So anyway, working with that. Let's see, I had a meeting with Karen, zoning board to discuss kind of our BZA, some BZA procedures, for meetings. So working that out. I've updated the vacant property list, for the township. I think I've got all of them and, attended the shop with a cop, which was awesome. That's all I have for now.
Old business. Does anyone have old business? Well, I'll bring one up. The last 2 years, I believe, we've abstained from participating in the MVRPC. That's gonna be something, I don't know, I know we've been working the budget, but I remembered a couple days ago that was something we were gonna discuss prior to the budgeting being finalized. And I think, does anyone know if that's still $1,500? I think it's $1,500 a year.
I think it was last year.
Yeah.
I don't think they've raised it.
Do you want to reach out
I can reach out to
and
them, yeah.
find out what the rate is? So that we can also put that on the reorganizational meeting, or the January Board of Trustees there too. But make sure that way, if we decide to do it, make sure it's available in the budget with the appropriations. If it's not something that we can afford, then we'll also discuss that and decide on that. So. Okay. Is there any other old business?
I got new business.
Okay.
To discuss and then maybe entertain a motion. At this time, I'm asking for a pay increase for Mr. Hoops from 23.25 to 24.75, and also for Mr. Steck from 20.50 to 21.50. Didn't know if anybody would have any discussions. Neither one of them have received any raises since they've been here.
What's the effective date?
I guess Jane, or the new pay period starting in January.
Like with the first pay period in January.
I'll second that.
Trustee Mears or Trustee Hartshorn,
Yes.
Trustee Mears,
Yes,
Trustee Music.
Yes.
thank you.
Any other new business? All right, we have no visitors that want to speak, so at this time, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
Trustee Mears,
yes.
Trustee Hartshorn,
Yes.
Trustee Music.
Yes.